Hi, I'm Mike, and I'm going to tell you about the Japanese hikikomori, also known as the shut-in teenager. I apologize in advance for stumbling over the word hikikomori throughout the speech. I practiced it and said it a million times, and it's still a tongue twister for me, so just bear with me. So I want you to imagine yourself feeling so overwhelmed by the pressures of society that one day you just walked into your bedroom, you closed the door behind you, but then you stayed in there for literally at least 6 months. Well, that's how hundreds of thousands and maybe even millions of teens and adolescents in Japan feel. The Japanese Ministry of Health, Labor, and Welfare defines hikikomori as people who refuse to leave their house and thus isolate themselves from society in their homes for a period exceeding 6 months. But actually, in the most extreme cases, this can last many years and even decades. So who are the hikikomori? What causes an individual to feel the need to isolate themselves from society? Is it a mental illness, or is it just a social phenomenon? I'll start by talking about who are being um, who are suffering from this syndrome. In an article by Rosenthal and Zimmerman in the International Journal of Mental Health, they state that there's a predominance of males among hikikomori because they are expected to leave the home and then start a home of their own, as opposed to the females who are less expected to do so, which then makes the males a more visible subject in this topic. Estimates of the number of hikikomori vary. The psychologist Tamaki Saito, who is known to coin the phrase hikikomori, has the highest estimate of at least 1 million hikikomori in Japan. Some hikikomori literally don't leave their bedrooms. They'll be in there 23 out of the 24 hours a day, only leave their room to shower. Their mothers will just prepare their meals and hand them through the door. They'll spend their time watching TV, playing video games, being on the internet. But some do actually venture out of the house, although it's only during the very late hours of night or the very early hours of the morning, and just any time that they know they're not going to encounter anybody else in society. There are a number of factors that are thought to be the cause of one's complete social withdrawal. I have a little chart here, or diagram should I say. You can see some of them I've highlighted. One of them says exams, the failure to exceed, depression, whether it be school or clinical, and then also parental expectations, whether it be school, career, or exams. So Japanese culture, they are big on academic success. They push their children to be very successful in their academics. They want them to succeed. So the pressure to succeed academically really bears on a child. They feel that they may not be able to meet the expectations of their parents. In his article, A New Form of Social Withdrawal in Japan, a review of hikikomori, Alan Teo states that difficulty in school is an experience among hikikomori. So that's one of the biggest factors that most researchers find. The children just don't see themselves going the route that their parents did. They can't achieve academic success in high school or lower grades, and then in high school, and then in college, and then they're supposed to get a job right out of college and then retire from that job. So that whole sight of success is very, very hard on a student or a child. Bullying is also a prominent issue in Japan. So once a child gets bullied, he or she may not want to return to school to endure the same words or even physical altercations with bullies, so they become isolated in themselves inside their homes and just don't want to be out in the world and face their fears, I guess. Family is also a cause of hikikomori behavior. The parents are very uptight and they're strict. Again, they push their children to be good students. They expect them to be good students. Um, the mother is known or seen to be the more dominant figure because whenever she speaks, the father is very passive. He doesn't say much. So the female is the dominant figure, and when she shows a lack of affection, that is a lack of affection towards the child, should I say, that is a cause for a child to really just isolate themselves from not just the parents, but from the real world. So is hikikomori a mental illness? That's a big question among researchers. There is ongoing research. There's been ongoing research since the first case in 1998. Researchers Teo and Gao found that many cases could be classified as a number of existing psychiatric disorders, but at the same time, a number of them didn't meet the existing psychiatric disorders. So that suggests that hikikomori may just be a culture-bound syndrome. In 2006, Maggie Jones wrote an article for the New York Times called "Shutting Themselves In," where she interviewed a hikikomori who finally came out of isolation after 4 long years. This particular hikikomori joined a program called New Star, which is one of several halfway programs that offer dorms and job training for hikikomori who have finally come out of isolation. Even at the age of 23, this hikikomori fears that he does not have any more time, or he fears that it may be too late to be successful in life or have any future whatsoever because he has been in isolation so long. This is also the case with many hikikomori. Unfortunately, the longer they are in isolation, the less chance they have to have a life or succeed in life in the real world. That's just the true fact. And that's basically all I have about the phenomenon of hikikomori. Thank you.